Well, guess what? There's a brand new thing starting up with these maid cafes where they have. Have you ever heard of a boy cafe? Now, this is a cafe full of nothing but cute
Host
guys.
cafe.
That's,
Host cafe.
Oh, it's no, I know about what you mean about the host cafe. The host cafe is actually a little more mature. The boy cafe is just nothing but little cute guys that serve drinks. So that's actually another
like under 18.
Under 18, right? They're all like little kids. And what I got a kick out of is someone said they're making them wear like little maid outfits with cat ears on their head. So try to imagine an entire cafe full of cat boys walking around.
Oh my God. So you have another job if you want one, right?
I know. I could head over to Japan right now and get myself hired. If only I actually look like this avatar.
If only you were a little younger.
Yeah. What I get a kick out of is in Japan. Now, this is an absolutely true story. I saw an interview in person with a guy who's a Habiri-K. Does anyone know what that is? Habiri-K. Habiri-K is a style of pop music that comes out of Japan where everyone in the band looks like I do when I wear super colorful clothing. They're little guys with like huge, adorable women's clothing, lots of hair. Sometimes they have they have cat ears. It's extremely colorful. It's called Habiri-K. Anyway, this guy's a performer in Habiri-K, and he said that when he was growing up, he could never get a girlfriend because he was short. And he said in Japan, if you want to hook up with a woman, being short is like being radioactive.
It's loser. They call you loser.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, and he explained to me.
Oh my God.
In Japan, they have a bachelor section in a cemetery. That means if you died unmarried, you get buried in the bachelor section. And the guy explained that part of the cemetery is filled with short men. There are no tall men in the bachelor section.
At the Disneyland there, on the rides, they actually have a mark. People put the mark under a certain height, and then they wrote loser.
Yeah, they do that. They're actually pretty mean. And this guy said that when he started dressing up for Habiri-K is the only thing that got him a girlfriend. When he started doing this thing where he's wearing the adorable cat ears and dresses and women's clothing and stuff like that.
He must have been very
Apparently,
short. I mean,
so what
under
you're looking at,
5'6"
this
or under
is
5'4"?
what you're looking at on stage right now is the new trend of men getting laid. This is what they're going to do to get your attention. Yeah, this is what they're going to, I just think that's so adorable and so funny. Because in real life, I'm actually
I bet you're
pretty
over
tall.
6 feet tall. Don't give me
As
any
in
nonsense.
real life, I am 6'1".
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. Well, how did I know that? Because all the men who are really tall get shorter here for some reason.
Because we
and
know
all the
what it's
short
like to be
men
tall.
get really tall.
We know what it's like to be tall. We don't fantasize about being tall. The little guys fantasize about being tall, so they have tall avatars. But I like being short and cute. Honestly, has anyone here ever seen the movie Ghost in the Shell or the series or know what that's about? You know what I'm talking about? Roger showed up. I'm going to share some time with Roger. I'm only going to tell a few jokes. And I'm going to hand it over to Roger right away. There's this movie called Ghost in the Shell. They're going to make a movie out of it with that lady that was in Captain America. What's her name? Scarlett Johansson. And she's going to be in it. And it's a future where people have their brains are sort of, they're not in their own bodies anymore. Their bodies are gone. And they take their brain and they put it inside a cybernetic body. And that cybernetic body can look like anything you want it to. It's exactly like Second Life. It's like Second Life is real life. And people saying, you don't even have to look human. You could be a guy, you can be a girl, you can be a monster, you can be a cow, you can be a machine, you can be a tank. It literally doesn't matter. If that future does happen, you're going to see what I'm going to look like in real life, because this is what I'm going to buy. I'm dumping the meat sack, and I'm going to be an adorable little cat boy. You just wait. You just wait.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that's why I'm learning how to play the guitar. So I can be an adorable little cat boy that's actually entertaining people in real life. Now, who here heard that Playboy magazine announced they are no longer publishing nudes?
I heard that. What's that
Yeah, earlier this week, yes, they're no longer publishing news in their magazines. Now, a lot of people might have thought, well, why the hell would you want to buy a Playboy for if there's no nudes in it? Well, it makes the most sense in the world to me. I totally understand this decision because who spends $8 to look at naked people, but you can see all the nudes in the world for free on the internet?
For free. It'll still be beautiful girls, like a swimsuit edition of Sports
And you know what?
Illustrated.
That's actually pretty smart because they got to offer something that nobody else has. What do they have? We got beautiful girls with their clothes on. Everyone
and
else is showing them nude.
They'll get movie stars too.
Right, they'll have movie stars and stuff like that. And I think that makes an awful lot of sense. But the problem is, how are they going to stay in business with just the articles? Because I started thinking to myself, what do publications in general do to stay in business, these days? Like, what do they have to offer? I went out just for the hell of it, and I bought a magazine about guitars. It was called Guitar Aficionado. You know what was in that magazine? Lots of beautiful pictures of guitars, like guitar porn, but I learned absolutely nothing about guitars. 300 pages, no information. Nothing. Oh, Roger's saying bye for some reason. Roger?
Yeah.
Roger,
He's playing a game,
Oh. All right. Well, we'll wait till he comes back. But, yeah, I
he
bought
ain't
this
coming
magazine.
back. Oh, no.
Oh, he's rebooting. He's rebooting, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I bought this magazine, and all I found out was, wow, a lot of famous people have guitars I'll never be able to afford to play. It's kind of like if you buy a magazine about cars, what's going to be in it? Nothing but supercars, like $1 million Koenigseggs and Ferraris and stuff that you will never drive in real life.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
what else
I
would they
watch
have in there?
food porn.
Yeah.
All those channels was like Anthony
At least there's a
Bourdain
chance that you could
traveling
cook
around
something,
the
maybe,
world eating.
you know.
I'll never travel to those places and eat.
Oh, I see what you mean,
there.
yeah. But the Playboy going without nudes is only happening in the North American section. Now, who here knows? Playboy actually has different publications all over the world. They have a European version. They have an Asian version over in China. They actually even have a Saudi Arabia version. And they'll still have the nudes. And I've seen it, and those ankles are totally airbrushed, but the goat centerfold is a look.
But the goat, did you say something? The goat's what?
Yeah, the goat centerfold's a looker. Does anyone know how Gloria Steinem started her career? You know the story of how she started her career? She was working undercover for another publication and got a job as a Playboy bunny. And then she worked for Playboy for something like 6 months to a year or something like that. And then she published an article in Cosmopolitan or some other magazine.
It was about 2 months, and
it was only 2 months
about it with Christy Alley. Yeah.
Thank you very much. And I did see the movie. Good movie, by the way. But now that they say that actually Playboy is going to have sort of a left-wing feminist leaning in its publication, does that mean Gloria Steinem is going to go work for Playboy again?
Well, his
it could
daughter
happen.
runs the company.
Yeah, it could happen. And if she does, I hope she threw away that bunny outfit. Because she's 81 years old now.
Well, didn't they open Playboy here?
They tried it. They tried it in Second Life. Remember, Playboy did have its own sim right here.
It up now.
Yeah. Well, again?
This month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's news to me. I did not know. I know they were here before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw it in the... Nobody reads the
That's a blog topic.
events.
Okay.
No.
If somebody could send that to me, I'm actually pretty curious as to what the heck they would have.
Look under events.
Yeah. And can you think about it? When the new Playboy comes out, I will go on and buy it, and it'll be the very first time I ever bought Playboy where you actually are buying it for the articles because there's nothing else to look at.
I like the
So,
jokes
what
in
about
it.
this? Yeah, what about all the pretty girls? Look, I can get more pretty girls who are actually naked in an issue of Cosmopolitan magazine than you're going to find in Playboy.
Yeah.
So if you're buying Playboy, you're buying it for the
About
article.
their faces. It was all about the tits on the ass.
Yeah. That was the joke back in the old
Or
days.
you can
I mean,
hang
when you
around
brought it.
Second Life and wait for everybody's body
Yeah,
to
just-
res.
Yeah. Okay, now I got a joke. I got a Playboy joke for you about guy. He goes to a confessional box, right? He goes in. He hasn't been in confessional in years. He hasn't gone since he was a kid, way back in the 1970s. Okay, so he goes into the confessional. First thing he sees, there's a little tiny bar in there that's got a Guinness tap on it for beer. It's like, what the hell? Right over in the other wall, he finds a humidor, and it's full of Cuban cigars. Really, and sitting right on the chair is the latest issue of Playboy magazine. Like, what the hell's going on here? Right? And finally, the priest, he comes on the other side, and he opens that little, what's that little thing that divides the two closets, or whatever you call it? He opens it up.
Actually.
Yeah, he just opens up that little sliding thing, and the guy says, "Father, forgive me. It's been a really long time since I come to confession. I must admit that the confession box is much more inviting than it used to be." And the priest just hollers through the little thing, "Get out of there. You're on the wrong side."
I have memories of that kind of those boxes when I was young, learning how to.
My mom actually has a story for me. She was just a regular, straight-up Catholic when she was a kid. The church that she went to was in Spring Hill, Nova Scotia, and that it's actually still there. It looks like an old Gothic cathedral type thing. And she said one of the earliest memories that she had when she was a kid, just going there on a Sunday, and she was just hanging out afterwards, was from the confessional box she heard this in this really loud voice, "You did what?" And the priest comes out of the confessional box, reaches on the other side, and he pulls out this 11-year-old boy, and he starts beating the living shit out of him with an inch of his life in front of everybody. "You rotten little no-good, blah, 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 blah. Don't you ever do that again. I'll swear to God I'll hang you." You know, and apparently this was life.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
that was life. And who's the that famous British novelist who lived in Birmingham? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Not Angela's Ashes, because he's Irish, but that other guy who was famous. He's from Birmingham, and he said that when he was good as a child, he was brought up in a Catholic school that was mostly nuns. Most of them were nuns, and he said, when you're good, they'll let you choose what paddle they'll beat you with. Those were the good ones. Like, you can have the little paddle today because you're a good boy. It's 3 o'clock, time for tea, and your afternoon whipping. You know.
Sounds like home to me.
I know. Now, who here has been to a karaoke sim? Now, they used to be all the rage. Remember back when Voice was brand new, back in 2007? I signed on right after Voice was a brand new thing. And people started getting into karaoke all over the place. And what I did was I found one the other day. I was just searching, doing some shopping. So, karaoke's still a thing. I went out there, and there was a guy there in an Archer avatar. Now, you ever watch his TV show Archer?
No.
Or that guy who talks like this. He's also the voice on, not The Simpsons. What's that show before? Bob's Burgers. You ever see that show? No one's watched Archer. It's one of the funniest TV shows out there. You're not going to get this punchline if you didn't see Archer. Because what this guy did was he had an Archer avatar, and he was singing. But you know what Archer's into. He loves that song "Danger Zone" by Kenny Loggins. Right? That's his favorite thing. And for every single episode, they work that in as a punchline. You're in the danger zone, baby! Danger zone! Well, this guy, he's the worst karaoke singer ever. He's just awful. And he's trying to do it. And after about 6 tries, they threw him out of there because he exceeded his maximum login attempts. Kenny Loggins, maximum login, Kenny Loggins. Okay.
Yeah.
Your maximum login attempts.
Oh, wow.
Okay. What do we got? We got 18 minutes. Man was lost in the desert, right? He's tired. He's stumbling up and down other dunes, sand dunes, and he comes across Genie's lamp. Lamp. What the hell? He says, well, I remember the story. I know how this goes. So he picks up the lamp. He rubs it 3 times. A genie pops out. Genie's really grateful. He's been stuck in there a long time. Thank you so much, the genie tells him, man. I've been trapped in that lamp for thousands of years. Since you set me free, I will grant you 1 wish. And the guy's thinking, 1? Only get 1? I thought you were supposed to get 3. He's grumbling around. He says, you know what? I better give this a lot of thought because I've heard about wishes backfire on people. I've seen that, the 11-inch penis joke and stuff like that. I lived through all of this, so I'm going to think about this. I'm going to wish for something that's really going to make a difference in the world. What is the most important thing you can wish for, right? So what he does is, the genie's been stuck in this land for thousands of years. He knows nothing. He's nothing at all like the genie from the Disney film who keeps making Elvis jokes. You know, this is a genie who's been, you know, last time he was out, people were not even using wheels yet. So the guy pulls out this map, and he shows him the Middle East. And he's saying, this part of the world is a wreck right now. It might even be responsible for starting World War III for all we know. Can you please try, I want my wish to bring peace in the Middle East forever. You know, so that mankind can live in peace. And he's saying, is it possible to do something like that? And the genie's going, look, I'm pretty powerful, but there's just some things that not even I can do. There are limitations, and I'm sorry that this wish probably exceeds them. You could try wishing for it, but I wouldn't know that would happen. So I'm very, very sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea. And the guy, you know, he's very sad. He's saying, I really wanted to make a difference in the world. A little tear drops out of his eye. He says, well, okay. The genie says, well, cheer up. Hey, you got one wish left. He said, okay. What about clearing things up in Washington? All right, the genie says, okay, show me that map again. I'm going to look at that map. Okay, maybe we can't fix things in the Middle East after all. Okay. My last joke, I got a priest joke here. Right, a bunch of priests are sitting in, what's that big square, the giant square that's by the Vatican? I've forgotten its name. St. Peter's Square, is that it? That big-ass circular thing that's got all the... There's cafes in there,
is a square.
Square. I know, they call it the square, it's a circle. Well, whatever. But they're over in St. Peter's Square, right? There's 4 of them. They're all sitting around, they're having coffee, and they're chatting about their family lives. And all of these priests are married, by the way, because some of them can do that, depending where you go, right? And the first priest says, my son is a priest. My own son's a priest. 3rd generation priest. And whenever he walks into a room, people say, hello, Father. And the second priest says, well, my son grew up to be a bishop. Whenever he walks in a room, people say, Your Grace. The third priest says, well, my son is a cardinal. And whenever he walks into a room, people say, Your Eminence. And the fourth priest looks at his fellows and he says, well, you know who my son is. My son grew up to be the Pope. And whenever he walks into a room, everyone says, Your Holiness. So after all the priests are talking about their kids, and they look over and they see a woman sitting nearby there, and they said, well, what about you? What's your kid like? And the woman says, well, I have a daughter. She's got a knockout face, a pair of double D boobs, a 24-inch waist, and whenever she walks in the room, everyone says, oh my God!
Yay.
Oh, I found out something on the news today. I got the one last joke I wanted to tell you. They just published this recently. They did an estimate on what it costs to make antimatter. They're actually planning on producing antimatter as a thing now, regularly. And they can only make it in really, really tiny amounts that are so small you can barely measure it. And somebody actually worked out that the most expensive substance on Earth is this antimatter, and it works out to $65.7 billion a gram for 1 gram of antimatter. So now you finally know what printer ink is made out of. All right, and that's everything I have for tonight, everybody. I'm going to hand it over to Roger. Is Roger not here? Because if not, I'm going to hand it over to Why Not.
All right. Well, Ocean wants to do a call.
Oh, okay,
and I'm going to let her go
Ocean
first.
All right, let's do that.
Up.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Ocean, yay.
All right, I know that y'all thought it was the prank call last time, so I thought I didn't have time tonight to come up with some jokes and anything, so I thought I'd at least do another prank call.
Yay!
And
oh, you're going to do a great call.
Yeah, I thought I'd
You
do
know, if
that.
you're going
It's
to do
kinda
that,
entertaining.
We're filming.
This is
It's
a
okay.
perfect venue for that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this time I think I'm going to just maybe try to dial a random number. Let me just.
Oh, let's see you do the pizza place. I
Okay,
thought I was
let
going
me
to do something.
That was great, the pizza place, but let her do something new. I don't care.
Okay, let's do it. All right. Yep. Suck it to us. I thought you didn't get to finish the pizza one, though. I thought that there was, we were into a technical issue.
I'm just calling. Here, I'll just see how this goes. I don't know what. Let's see if anybody answers.
Yeah, we couldn't do this over Lawrence because Gila was a little worried about being sued.
Hello?
Actually, it was here.
It was here?
Yeah?
Oh, it was here.
This is Janine.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean.
I'm sorry, but I just feel like I need to tell you I've been sleeping with your husband.
Excuse me?
And I think that I really need to speak with him, and I shouldn't have called his house number.
Well, I'm sorry he's not here, but you don't need to be talking to my husband. Who in the hell are you?
We've been sleeping together for about 2 years now,
Oh,
and
you're so full of shit.
I'm pregnant. And
Well, he's not here. I am his wife, and you can talk to me.
well,
We're going to be reading about this tomorrow.
Oops.
God.
Oh, this is such a prank call. You know what? If you ain't got nothing better to do, then call somebody else to play your little pranks. Evidently, you must have a mind of a 3-year-old to call people and do this shit. So, you know what? You need to get a life.
Your husband thinks you need to get a life.
No, you need to get a life.
You need to suck on a dick.
I'm telling you right now, I have your number.
I'll be a star 69 that.
The fishy ass fucking cunt. I think it's funny, huh?
When your husband kisses you, you taste my pussy.
You're such you're such a You know what? Go get a life. Don't call my house back. But now that I do have your phone number, I will turn you into the police for calling me and harassing me. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I'll be a star 69 that.
That went bad. That was bad. That was really bad.
I thought you were going to do is your refrigerator running? No.
I knew y'all were listening, and I was like, oh God, I better say something, and it just kind of went that way. I'm a little bit afraid. I'm afraid.
Do you have some sort of randomizer or number block or something like that, or does that lady actually have your phone number?
I don't know. I'm sitting here waiting to see if their phone rings back.
Are you using a landline or a cell phone?
Call her back. Oh my god.
Yeah, well, your mouth was moving when she was talking, so I think you did both, but I think you did a great job if you did it.
Oh, God.
I want me to call her again.
No.
No, that poor woman's gone through enough. By the way,
Should I call her and tell her I was playing?
Don't pull practical jokes where we might read in the newspaper the next day that somebody got shot because they thought they were having an affair.
I forgot. Should I call her back and tell her I was playing?
She said that to spook you, and now you're spooked. She played your game on you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've done it.
KZL radio, and it was a prank call.
Yeah, playing it on the radio station.
Yeah, whatever the radio station.
Star 69 that. Star 69 at this time. Just in case.
Oh my god.
No, if she's got it, she's got it. Doing star 69 now won't make a difference.
No.
You know.
I think you should change your number and move.
Yeah, Ocean, do you... Ocean, did you call from a landline? Please tell me you know what that word means.
Yes, I did.
You called from a landline, and you did not do the star 69 block.
Oh, 6-7.
No.
6-7.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it
mine's
Star 67 these days? Okay.
I guess so, yeah.
Wow.
I don't even think that
Wow.
works. I don't think that works anymore.
I have no idea. I haven't used it in ages. I used it when I worked at a porn store.
Yeah, that's why it was 6'9"
I
back
had
then.
to. Yeah. Well, I used to phone people to complain about, you got like $300 in late charges, but I had to do a star 69 so that if they saw on their display that it was a porn store calling, they would just hang up on me. It's like, hey, I got to speak to someone about these late charges.
Y'all want me to do another one?
No, I think you've stretched your luck long enough. Let's stop now before it becomes a federal crime. Yeah.
I actually tricked y'all. Y'all want me to tell you what I did?
Yeah,
What?
I know what you did.
You called a friend. You called a
I
friend.
called my sister and told her that
Okay.
Fucking
You
Yeah, I
pranked
knew,
us.
because your voice was
You
moving, your
pranked
mouth was moving. Oh my god.
Oh, thank God.
You
Okay.
pranked us.
Yep,
And we deserved it too.
That's how
That's
we
actually
did
pretty
it.
cool.
All right, tonight is the zombie night at the racetrack. And I'm going to paint the town red. Yay! Thanks to
God.
Haley, who gave me my blood spurter. She's got
God.
emitters, spurters, everything, and I'm going to feature her store and her on, and I guess whoever her partner is. I forgot your partner's name, Haley. You're not Haley
Yeah,
tonight.
I have two.
Oh. Anyway, I think we're going to bring back the particle store here.
Here we go.
Oh, cool.
Mhm. So this morning I woke up with horrible pain and I had to go to the emergency clinic, and the doctor looked me over and was feeling all around, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you have acute appendicitis." And I said, "God damn it, you got acute ass too, but I need to know what the fuck's wrong with me. I'm in dire pain."
Oh.
If the doctor says you have acute appendicitis, is he coming on to you?
I thought so, but evidently I was mistaken. Hey, you know the difference between bird flu and swine flu?
What?
If you got bird flu, you need treatment. And if you got swine flu, you need ointment. And I got this for, was this Hacker? Hacker, is he the fisherman guy? Yeah. What did the fisherman say to the card magician? He said, "Pick a card, any card." But then he didn't even show up, little asshole. All right. In 1957, several cities were vying to host the 1964 Winter Olympics. Candidates had been eliminated to the point where only two left, and it was Singapore and Nevers, France. Well, the French venue had an obvious advantage for these games, but the Singaporeans were eager to host the games, so they developed a snowmaking machine. Well, because of some technical glitches, the machine produced snow only part of the time. The rest of the time it produced steam, and you can't ski on steam, so they made a last-ditch effort to perfect their machine, and they knew the deadline was really, coming up. Well, to bring moral support and some entertainment for the workers, they brought in Elvis Presley. He got on stage and he goes, "Well, today's the day your machine must produce snow. If it belches out steam, the games will go to France. So this is it. It's snow or nevers. Come hold me tight." Oh, that was so goofy. During its heyday, the Wells Fargo company employed a number of specialized stagecoaches, such as one with a church for Sunday. One of the more popular models featured a dark room, so passengers who took pictures could have them processed en route, and then the prints would be delivered at their destination. Well, one day the stagecoach equipped with a dark room was headed for Wichita, and they passed through a small town and were intercepted by a marshal. He goes, "Halt, in the name of the law." "What's the problem?" the stagecoach driver asked. "You should know the operation of a mobile darkroom is illegal in Kansas," the marshal said. Well, at this point, two psychologists on horseback arrived on the scene. One of them said, "I suppose what we have here is a classic case of the Oedipus complex." And the other said, "No, It's much simpler than that. It's just an arrested stage of development.
Okay.
A farmer in ancient Rome, he's working in the fields one day and he came across a giant strawberry. It was about a foot wide, 18 inches high. He thought, wow, this will be a novelty. Everybody will want to see it. So he took it home, washed it off, put it in a display case. Well, he advertised this strawberry farm-wide, and people came from all over to see his exhibit. He charged admission, and he made a whole bunch of money on it, but he failed to report his earnings to the tax authorities. So they came to his farm to confiscate the exhibit. When they came to his door, he said, I suppose you all came this way to admire my exhibit as well. They said, oh, no. We've come to seize your berry, not to praise it.
Oh.
You know why Mozart
that was
killed...
actually pretty...
I thought it was cute. Hey, you know why Mozart killed all his chickens?
Why?
Well, he asked them who was the best composer, and they all said, bok, bok, bok.
Oh.
What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
Oh.
Gotta know your prefixes, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Hey, what did Snow White say when she came out of the photo booth?
What?
Someday my prince will come.
Oh. That's not what they use photo booths for.
They're so awful. A friend of mine died recently after drinking a gallon of varnish. It was a horrible end, but a lovely finish.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they should put that on people when they're in the casket. They look shinier and better and more alive. You know what kind of music mummies listen to, don't you? Rap. Rap music.
Terrible.
Oh,
Rap.
Hey.
W-R-A-P.
I'm going to tell that to my niece.
I need a rap. I need a rap right now because my guts are hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I originally planned just to be cremated, but lately I was thinking about it, and I thought I might have an open casket funeral. Remains to be seen.
Oh.
Oh.
Remains to be seen. Okay.
I'm really starting to hate those stupid little Russian dolls, you know, the little wooden ones. They're so full of themselves.
Oh.
Why not?
I can't
Well,
complain.
they
I told
are.
that joke.
They are. Did you tell that one?
Yeah, I did. Long time ago.
Oh. Well, you told one of mine too. Fuck you. All right. What did the leopard tell the prostitute?
What the leopard?
Something about spots.
Keep the tip.
Oh.
Of course, she didn't have a choice. It fell off in her mouth. All right.
Oh,
yuck.
I'm gonna puke if you keep that up.
I love this one. This reminds me of my kids at school. What does shoes say to the pants?
What?
Sup, britches.
Sup, bitches?
Sup, britches. You know what the Mexican put under his carpet?
What?
Underlay.
Underlay. Reba. Eppa.
You know, the diarrhea they found is hereditary. Yep,
Yeah?
it runs in your genes.
Oh.
Thank God I'm not
good.
wearing pants tonight, but it looks like I already had jeans on and it ran in them. If you look around behind me, that is terrible. It is awful. You know why the Cyclops closed his school? He only had one pupil.
Oh.
And you know what begging zombies eat?
What?
Greens.
Brains. Okay.
The two bananas are lying on a riverbank and a turd floats by and he yells, "Hey guys, come on in, the water feels great." And one banana turns to the other and he goes, "Do you believe that shit?"
What?
Oh.
That took a while to get.
What do you call a stuck-up prisoner going down the stairs? A condescending descending.
Uh,
All right, now I'm
Okay.
gonna get really raunchy here. What did Cinderella do when she got to the ball?
what?
She gagged.
Oh.
Gross.
All right.
I think I saw a tattoo like that.
That took me a
Randy
while.
liked it. Randy liked it. That's why I like Randy. Okay, I don't like you guys. I like Randy. All right, why does Dr. Pepper come in a can? His wife
What?
died. His wife.
Oh.
My God.
Hey, you know, Thanksgiving's not here yet, but I'm already thinking about Christmas. And when I was a child, I remember lying with my eyes closed, waiting for Santa to come. And then there was this awkward silence as he got dressed and left.
Oh, why not?
Last year, I got a sweater for Christmas. I was hoping for a screamer or a moaner, but you know, this year I got you a sweater and a dildo for Christmas, so if you don't like the sweater, you can go fuck yourself. When somebody asked me how I view lesbian relationships, I said, well, anyway, in HD wasn't the right answer.
Yeah.
This family walks into a hotel, and the father goes to the front desk. He says, man, I hope the porn's disabled. And the guy at the desk goes, it's just regular porn, you sick fuck.
God.
That's the best one tonight.
You know the difference between a midget circus and a girls' track team?
What?
A midget circus is filled with cunning runts. Instead of running cunts. Oh, yeah. What does Albert Einstein masturbate with?
What?
Stroke of genius.
Oh.
These are really bad. All right. 3 men were shipwrecked, and eventually they reached a tropical island. They were promptly captured by the natives, who brought them before the chief. He commanded them to go into the forest and bring back 10 pieces of fruit apiece. Didn't matter what type, but all 10 pieces had to be the same type. Well, eventually, 2 men returned. One had apples, one had grapes. And the chief says, you must now shove these 10 pieces of fruit up your asses without changing your expression. So the first man who brought apples, he managed to push 2 up, but he winced on the third and he was promptly killed. Well, the second man with the grapes managed to reach the 9th grape, but he started bursting out laughing. And so, like his friend, he was killed on the spot. Well, up in heaven, the first guy goes, gosh, you were so close, why'd you laugh? Second man said, I saw the third guy coming back with pineapples. 3 men were shipwrecked, and eventually they reached a tropical island. They were promptly captured by natives of the island who brought them before the chief. Oh, wait. How the hell did that come out twice? Fuck it. I gotta move down. All right. What did the egg say to the boiling water?
What?
Gonna take me a little while to get hard. I just got laid by this chick. Aw, that's so cute. That reminds me of Easter. Anyway, a college teacher reminded her class of the exam the next day. Now, class, I will not tolerate any excuses for your not being here tomorrow. I might consider a nuclear attack or a serious personal injury, illness, or a death in your immediate family, but that's it. No other excuses whatsoever. So the smartass in the back of the room raised his hand. He goes, what would you say if I said I was suffering from some complete, utter sexual exhaustion? And the whole class is laughing and snickering. And when silence was restored, the teacher smiled and said, well, I guess you'd have to write with your other hand.
Yes.
This guy's on an island, and all he has there is this goat with him. Days pass, weeks, then months, years pass, no human contact. He starts this urge to have sex, so he looks around, he looks at his goat. So he decides he's going to have sex with it. So he positions her right, and he's ready for some action, but just as he's ready to pull his pants down, he sees a dog staring at him. So he's uncomfortable. The next day he tries again. He guides the goat to the hillside. Just as he's about to pull his pants down, out of nowhere he sees this dog staring at him. So he gives up again. A few days go by and he sees a boat sinking, so he hears a woman screaming from it. He swims to her rescue, and the woman's like, "Oh, can I do anything to repay you?" He says, "Anything?" She goes, "Yes, anything." He says, "Well, can you take the dog out for a walk?"
He should read that. He probably read that Saudi Arabian Playboy.
This old couple are talking, and the wife says, "How many women have you slept with?" "Only you, my darling," the man said proudly. "With all the others, I was awake."
That's great.
You know the difference between an Islamic and a Christian sex doll?
What?
The Islamic doll blows itself up.
I
was sure you'd get that one.
Yeah.
I bought this new puppy, and I feel guilty watching porn when the puppy's in the room. Well, not only that, but it ruins my concentration when he barks at the dogs on the screen.
Oh, my God.
That's awful. I got some horrible jokes here. One day, when the teacher walked to the blackboard, she noticed someone had handwritten penis in little tiny letters on the blackboard. She turned around, looked at the whole class, looking for a guilty face, but she quickly just erased it because she didn't see anybody looking guilty. So the next day she goes in bigger letters, penis is on the blackboard. Well, she looks around again, and she proceeded with the lesson. Every morning for a week, she went in the classroom and she kept finding penis written on the board. Each day the word was bigger than the day before. Well, finally, she walked in one day expecting to be greeted by the same word on the board, but instead she found the words, "The more you rub it, the bigger it gets." Kids are awful, are they not horrible?
Yes, they are. But,
and my last for the night, which means we're gonna probably close early. Yeah. We got Tymmerie. All right, a husband and wife are waiting at the bus stop, and with them are their 9 kids. Well, this blind man joins them after a few minutes. When the bus arrives, they find it's overloaded. Only the wife and the 9 kids can get on the bus, so the husband and the blind man decide to walk. Well, after a while, the husband's getting real irritated by click, click, click on the stick, the blind man's stick. He's tapping on the sidewalk, and he goes, "Why don't you put a piece of rubber on the end of your stick? That sound's driving me nuts." The blind man goes, "If you put rubber on the end of your stick, we'd be riding on the bus, so shut the hell up." Yay!
Bravo, everybody. I hope you're having a good night tonight. Did you guys know that a pair of robot ethicists recently launched a campaign against sex robots? Did you hear about that? There's actually a website. This is a real thing. It's campaignagainstsexrobots.wordpress.com if you want to check it out. What they're claiming is that artificially intelligent sex toys will prevent people from forming meaningful relationships with each other.
Please tell me this story's from Japan. It has to be.
It's gotta be.
It's real. It's real.
It's real. It has to be Japan.
They think they're going to prevent people from hooking up and having real meaningful relationships with these sex toys. But enough about the Kardashians. Interestingly, there are other robot ethicists who think that banning sex robots are going to create, and this is also true, are going to create an unregulated robot sex black market and the need for robot pimps. Your flashlight was unavailable for comment.
Imagine C-3PO dressed up as a pimp.
Seriously. After I read this article, I was really trying to wrap my head around the concept of robot pimps. Do you think they mean artificially intelligent pimps, or do they mean human pimps will be renting out their real dolls? Do you know what I think? I think robot ethicists need to get laid.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Personally, I am not afraid of future competition from sex robots because I'm really, really good in bed. Are you guys really good in bed? Come on, don't be shy. You can say it. This is how good I am in bed, okay? I don't just have a landing strip. I have an event horizon.
Okay.
What?
Oh, right.
And you guys know Halloween is only a few weeks away, so it's time to watch scary movies. What's your favorite scary movie?
Favorite scary movie? House on
Yeah.
Haunted Hill, Vincent Price.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Suspicion.
Oh, that's a good
Joan
one
Fontaine.
too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
The
scary.
Exorcist.
There you go.
Oh, the old Psycho.
Mine is The Notebook.
What's scary about that?
Mail fraud, Catboy. Have you guys actually decided on your costumes for Halloween yet? A lot of people wonder why so many women use Halloween as a chance to dress in a slutty outfit. But I think the real question is why only Halloween?
Yeah, why do you girls only pick
It's an
Halloween to dress
excuse.
up as a slutty cat girl? I want to see slutty cat girls all year round.
There you go. Well, I think we should start doing this for every holiday. So for Thanksgiving, we should all dress up like we're going to bang the entire crew of the Mayflower.
All right.
Come on. What is the worst that can happen? I figure at the very least, we might be able to get out of hosting next Thanksgiving. That's my strategy. I really wanted my costume to be topical this year, so I think I'm going to do something political and pay homage to the large number of Republican presidential candidates, okay? Here's my idea. Don't steal this, okay? Republican candidate centipede.
Oh, no. Oh,
Oh,
no.
wait, I forgot. We have to make it sexy Republican candidate.
Right.
Good luck
And-
with
and-
that.
Trump gets to be the caboose.
Oh, right.
He's earned that.
Yeah.
Do you guys know how I finally realized that I was a successful adult with a real career?
Oh.
I finally got a job where no one was expected to wear a Halloween costume to work. and believe me, I took an early lunch that day so I could go home and change out of mine. Have any of you guys tried one of the Burger King Halloween Whoppers that they have out now?
Oh, the one with the black
I'm
buns.
trying to.
What's
Oh,
that?
God.
Black bun.
And the black bun,
Black cheese.
I guess, oh, is it really? I guess that's supposed to make them really scary. I don't get it. Maybe think it's mold. People have been noticing, actually, that after they eat these Whoppers, it makes their poo green.
Yes, that's true.
That's
Yeah.
a treat.
So does grape
And it's-
Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys have seen some of the pictures on Twitter and things, but this poop is not just a regular old green. It's
Fluorescent.
It's been
Yeah.
described as very bright green. Haley, I think that's your green. So you need to get it.
I need a Burger King.
That's why she wants to go to Burger King so she can poo green all day long.
Now, with
How?
green writing,
Grape Kool-Aid does that.
it doesn't frighten me. I think it's more frightening that so many people are sharing photos of their poo.
Yeah. Jeez.
It is.
I know.
I was
Take a look at my poo. This shit is green.
exactly.
Put it on Snapchat.
You know what Burger King should start working on for Halloween next year that I think would be really scary?
What?
They need to start making chicken fries. Make your poo come out covered in feathers.
Oh.
That would scare me. That would scare me.
I just crapped a sparrow. What's going on?
No,
Oh.
gotta be careful, cowboy. I know. Speaking of fast food, McDonald's is now serving breakfast all day now, which might be great for you, but how am I supposed to know if it's still too early to start drinking? Huh? What? Am I supposed to start wearing a watch now or something?
Yeah, that's no
Jeez,
good.
oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, and then finally, Catboy mentioned that Playboy is going to stop publishing nude photos in its print magazine, which everybody thinks is crazy, but trust me, it is a really good thing. And you know why? Because if there's anything that's going to get my almost 70-year-old dad to finally hook up the internet to his house, it's this.
Yeah, right.
You do not
So
want
right.
to know what finally got him to get call waiting. And that's my set for the evening. Thank you very much.
Oh, man.
That
Great,
was the
Tymmerie.
best tonight. Yay.